Hey everyone, John Howell here again with you today, and in this video it's going to be a continuation of the last video I did. Okay, so in the last video I talked about the importance of using a longer term time frame chart. So for example, if you're trading the day chart, it's important to look at the weekly chart for the setup. Or if you're trading, say, a 15-minute chart, a 60-minute chart, or even a 30-minute chart. It's important to look at 240-minute chart or even a 300-minute chart to get your parameters or get your levels of setups so you can trade with high probability setups. Okay? That's what we talked about last video. Now this video here is going to be a continuation of the last video we talked about. Now if you did not see the last video, it's really important because this video is not going to make sense if you don't see that first video. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to go to livetradingroom.com.au, livetradingroom.com.au. I want you to click on the blog and I want you to find the blog post that actually says simple tools to use to finding good trades, okay? Simple tools to use to finding good trades. And what that's going to do, it goes for about 14 minutes, it's for free, and it simply tells you and shows you the correlations between the weekly and daily, and also the longer term time frame charts, and if you trade in, say, a 5-minute chart, a 10-minute chart, or a 60-minute chart, and so on and so forth. Okay, how to use them for the longer term time frame to actually get a really good setup. Okay, so that's that video. Make sure you go watch that. Now this video, what I'm going to talk about is I'm not going to be focusing more on the weeklies. Okay, I'm going to be focusing more on the dailies or the smaller time frame charts. Okay, now what I'm going to talk about today in this video, I'm going to talk about different things, different extra things you can use on the entry time frame charts to add extra probability. Okay, so last video we spoke about how to use the longer term time frame charts as good support areas, good parameters areas. Okay, really good support and resistance levels. This video I'm going to talk about the bounce high probability trade and also the HP high probability trade. Okay, now in this video I'm going to focus on one, so I'm going to focus on the bounce strategy first, or the bounce technique first, and then the next video I'm going to do, I'm going to be focusing more on the HP trade. Okay, so I'm going to rub this one off now, and in this video I'm going to focus more on the bounce. Now simply put, once again, this bounce is using the techniques, we're using this on the entry time frame. Okay, so if you're trading a 10-minute chart or a 15-minute chart, we now have our parameters set up, our guidelines set up on the weekly or on the 240-minute chart or the 300-minute chart. We have all the parameters and we have the good setup. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use an extra technique called the bounce to add the extra probability. Okay, so let's move on to this. What the bounce is simply this, okay? If we have the bounce is simply what it actually is. It's called a bounce because we're looking and we're waiting for the bounce. Okay, let me give you an example here. Let's just say we have the weekly chart over here and we have a nice trend line going up through there. Okay, and the market's going up, down, up, down, up, and now we're back down here. Okay. What I said in the last video was that what we want to be doing is we want to be watching these levels here because they're really good support levels, right? And I said these are really good levels to go long at. But on the daily chart, there's on the daily chart, this is on the day chart, what we're looking for is, as the market might be doing this, okay? The market might be doing that. And this point through here might be this leg down through here, okay? So we have this whole leg down through here is going to be that leg down through there, okay? So this is weekly, this is daily. Weekly over here, daily over here, okay? So just bear with me for a minute here. So what do we have here? We have the weekly chart at a really good defined support level, okay? Remember what we talked about in the last video, how to get those levels. Or this might be a 300-minute chart if you trade the smaller time frames. And then we had the day chart. But what we're looking for, we're actually looking for the bounce. We now know in the back of our mind that on the weekly chart or the longer term time frame chart, we're at a really good strong support level. What we're waiting for is we're waiting for the bounce to prove to us that that's continuing for us continuing for that to be a good support level. So if the market's say going down like this, okay, and let's just say for example this trend line, that trend line there is this big long-term trend line here on the weekly chart, okay? So we have the big long-term weekly good support line all through here, support here, here, okay? So this point right here is where this point is right here, right now, okay? This is simply on the daily chart, okay? You with me? So what we're looking for is, we say, okay, this is a good time to buy. Remember I said last video, that's a good time to buy. But I don't suggest just buying there. I suggest adding extra tools with high probability to say, okay, that is still a support level. And what do? You simply wait for the bounce. Because if we simply, this could actually, if we simply get a bounce here, well then we know this point right here is now a really good support level, right? Because we waited for the bounce first, we now likely at a high probability of getting this, okay, and getting this on the weekly chart. Are you getting this? Okay, it's really important. Okay, so just to recap there on this technique here, the bounce technique is waiting for the bounce on the daily chart, and when you have the right setup. Okay, when you have the right setup, on the weekly chart, we're at really good support level. On the daily chart, we've come down and we've actually started to bounce off that support level, which is proven the weekly chart is actually being a good support level. Okay, now they're coming together as a weekly being strong support, daily's giving us a nice, good, strong entry level, and now we have a high probability of it now continuing, not just up a little bit, but up a good amount. Okay, so that there in a nutshell is what we call the bounce technique, okay? The bounce technique is phenomenal and it works really, really, really well. Once again, if you have a support level, you want to see the market bounce. Once it actually bounces first, it proves to you that that is a support level. Now, once again, what we're doing here is we're adding layers to find really good, high quality, good trades, okay? So, first level we talked about in the first video was using the longer term time frame charts to draw these parameters to find really good support levels. Now, in this video, we're talking about a strategy called the bounce, where we're actually waiting for the bounce first, and then once we wait for the bounce first, it proves that this level through here is a good support level, and therefore we have a much more high probability now, even more, for it to continue up. Okay? I think you get that, and I think you understand it. If you have any questions, let me know. But this is an amazing technique because there's a few things that are going on here, okay? One, we have a major support on the weekly, but two, the psychology here is different, okay? Because we don't know if that's going to be a good support level, do we? We have no idea that this is going to be a good support level. Even though on the weekly chart it's a support level over here, this could just do that, right? It could just go straight through and keep going down. So what we need to do is we need to wait for the bounce first on the daily chart or the smaller time frame chart, and if that bounce there is correlation to that level there, we now understand that this is bouncing. We've now got a trend that is going up. It's now bouncing off a good support level. It's sort of like a trend continuation move, okay? This is sort of where you want to enter. A stop below the low here would be good, and then a 2-for-1 or 3-for-1 profit target up here would be good. Okay, so that is the bounce strategy there, okay? Please use that, please refine that, and please do whatever you want with that. But once again, the first video about using the longer term time frame charts to look for the setups. This one now is looking for the bounce, just looking to add extra layers to find really good high quality trades. And this one here is waiting for the bounce, okay? Alright guys, well that's it for me on this one. The next video I'm going to talk about is the HTHP technique that I like to use sometimes within my trading, and this is much better, much more efficient. And this HTHP technique is where it truly shows the buyers are coming in, not just because they bounce, but they truly show the buyers are coming in. And if you have a really good support level on the weekly chart or the longer term time frame chart, and your smaller time frame chart shows that it's actually giving you a HTHP technique, this is showing much greater, much higher probability that's likely to continue going up, okay? And so that's the next video I'm going to talk about that in itself. So, okay guys, well that's it for me on this particular video. Remember the bounce, use the bounce first, okay? Wait for the bounce, wait for the buyers to come in first, wait for this level to be proven that it's a really, really good support level. If you do that, you're going to have just much more high probability, okay? Start stacking these things on your side, looking at longer term time frame charts, waiting for the bounce and so on and so forth. You'll start to get a much more high probability within your own trading. Okay guys, I'll speak to you next video.